Tomorrow morning, your alarm rings, 5 a.m. The room is silent. Outside, the world is still asleep. Every part of your body tells you to stay in bed. Your pillow feels warmer than ever. Your eyes are heavy. Your brain whispers, just 5 more minutes. But what if you stood up anyway? Not just once, but every morning, for the next 30 days. Would waking up before sunrise actually change your brain? Or is the famous 5 a.m. routine just another internet myth? The answer is more interesting than you might think. Let's find out. The moment your alarm wakes you, your brain begins making decisions. Deep inside your brain, a tiny region called the suprachiasmatic nucleus acts as your internal clock. It helps control your circadian rhythm, the natural 24-hour cycle that influences when you feel awake and when you feel sleepy. Every morning, light entering your eyes sends signals to this internal clock. Those signals tell your brain a new day has begun. When your sleep schedule is consistent, your internal clock becomes more predictable, and your body begins preparing for the day more efficiently. Within the first few minutes after waking, your brain naturally increases the release of cortisol. Despite its reputation, cortisol isn't always harmful. In healthy amounts during the morning, it helps you feel alert, focused, and ready to respond to the day ahead. Scientists sometimes call this the cortisol awakening response. It's one of the reasons many people gradually feel more awake after getting out of bed, even without immediately drinking coffee. But there's something important to understand. Waking up at 5 a.m. is not automatically healthy. If you're sacrificing sleep just to wake earlier, your brain may actually perform worse. Memory becomes weaker, attention declines, reaction time slows, your mood can suffer. The real goal isn't simply waking up early, it's waking up early, after getting enough quality sleep. That's where the benefits begin. On the first morning, it probably doesn't feel exciting. Your body feels slow, your eyelids are heavy. You wonder why anyone would choose this. You might even question whether you can continue. That's completely normal. Your brain is adapting to a different schedule. For years, it may have expected sleep at one time and wakefulness at another. Changing that pattern takes patience, not perfection. By the third day, something begins to change. Your body starts expecting the morning. Getting out of bed still takes effort, but it no longer feels impossible. Inside your brain, your internal clock is slowly adjusting. Each morning you wake up at the same time. Your circadian rhythm becomes a little more stable. Your brain begins predicting when to release the hormones that help you wake and when to release the hormones that help you sleep. One of the most powerful signals for this process is morning sunlight. When natural light reaches your eyes, special cells inside your retina send messages directly to your brain's internal clock. Those signals reinforce that it's time to be awake. Over time, this can help your sleep and wake cycle become more consistent. Researchers have found that regular exposure to morning light can support a healthy circadian rhythm. That's one reason many sleep experts recommend spending a few minutes outside after waking. By the end of the first week, another change often begins to appear. Your mornings become more intentional. Instead of immediately reacting to notifications, emails, or social media, you have a quiet moment to decide how your day will begin. That small difference matters. Your brain makes thousands of decisions every day. The more unnecessary decisions you make early in the morning, the more mental energy you spend. Psychologists sometimes describe this as decision fatigue. Creating a simple morning routine removes many of those unnecessary choices. Wake up, drink water, open the curtains, step outside, stretch, read a few pages, write your goals. Each repeated action becomes easier, not because the tasks change, but because your brain begins turning them into habits. Deep inside your brain, a region called the basal ganglia plays an important role in habit formation. As you repeat the same routine day after day, your brain becomes more efficient at performing those behaviors. What once required discipline gradually begins requiring less effort. This doesn't happen overnight, but every consistent morning strengthens the pattern. Something else also begins to happen. Your mornings feel quieter. Before the demands of the day begin, Your mind has room to think, room to plan, room to reflect. Many people describe this as one of the biggest benefits of waking early, not because the hour itself is magical, but because distractions are fewer, the world is quieter, and your attention belongs to you. For the first time in a long time, you may realize that the most valuable part of the morning isn't the extra hour, it's what you choose to do with it. By the second week, the early mornings begin feeling familiar. You still have difficult days, but getting out of bed no longer feels like a battle. Your brain is beginning to trust the routine. One of the greatest benefits of a consistent morning isn't waking up early, it's reducing chaos. When your mornings become predictable, your brain spends less energy deciding what to do next. Instead, it can focus on doing the task itself. This is why many people notice they can begin important work sooner. Not because they suddenly became smarter, but because they're protecting their attention before the world becomes noisy. Imagine sitting down to study, to write, or simply to think, before messages begin arriving, before social media demands your attention, before the day's distractions compete for your focus. For many people, those quiet morning hours become some of the most productive moments of the day. Something else may begin changing too. Your mood. Sleep doesn't just restore your body, it also helps regulate the brain systems involved in emotion. When you consistently get enough sleep and wake at a regular time, many people find they feel steadier throughout the day. That doesn't mean you'll never feel stressed, or anxious, or frustrated. Life still happens, but your brain is often better prepared to respond, instead of simply reacting. Morning movement can make an even bigger difference. A short walk, a few minutes of stretching, or light exercise outdoors, combined with natural morning light. These habits can help you feel more alert and energized. Physical activity also increases blood flow to the brain, delivering oxygen and nutrients that support healthy brain function. Exercise isn't just training your muscles, it's helping support your brain too. Around this point, many people notice something surprising. They no longer hit the snooze button as often. Their body begins waking up close to the same time each morning, even before the alarm rings. That's your internal clock becoming more consistent. But remember, none of this works if you're cutting your sleep short. Waking at 5 a.m. while sleeping only 5 hours every night is not a recipe for better brain health. Adults generally need around 7 to 9 hours of sleep each night. The goal isn't less sleep. The goal is better sleep and a schedule your brain can rely on. Consistency matters more than the number on the clock. Whether your morning begins at 5, 6, or 7, giving your brain a regular rhythm is one of the greatest gifts you can offer it. By now, you're beginning to notice something. The hardest part was never waking up. The hardest part was becoming the kind of person who keeps showing up every morning. Now imagine, 30 days have passed. Not every morning was perfect. Some days you woke up immediately. Some days you didn't. But you kept coming back. And that's what matters. Your body now expects the morning. Your sleep feels more consistent. Your mind feels calmer. And your day begins with intention. Has waking up at 5 a.m. changed your life overnight? No. But one habit can create momentum. One morning becomes 1 week. 1 week becomes 1 month. And 1 month begins changing who you are. You become someone who keeps promises to yourself. Whether you spend your mornings reading, learning, exercising, praying, or simply thinking, you begin the day with purpose. Science suggests that regular sleep schedules, morning light, and consistent routines support healthier sleep, better alertness, and a stronger daily rhythm. The exact hour matters less than waking consistently. So choose a time that fits your life, get enough sleep, and stay consistent, because your brain thrives on rhythm, not perfection. So here's this week's challenge. Wake up at the same time for the next 7 days. Before checking your phone, open your curtains, drink some water, step outside, or simply sit quietly. Then come back and tell us what changed. If you enjoy cinematic documentaries that reveal the science behind everyday habits, subscribe to WAF10 TV Because the more you understand your brain, the better choices you'll make for the rest of your life. Understand your brain. Change your life. I'll see you in the next documentary.